Hey, what's up, everyone? Clayton here. Well, the Senate is about to push another $250 bailout for small businesses. That's right, you heard it here. Senate Leader Mitch McConnell is aiming to get an additional $250 billion approved for small business relief. He says he'll bring that measure to the Senate floor on Thursday, and that's welcome news because loans aren't even being approved yet. He said, in his words, it's quickly becoming clear that Congress will need to provide more funding for this crucial program or it may run dry. He said this cannot happen. He said in a statement that McConnell is working with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, and that Democrats are also looking to pass another massive economic stimulus package themselves. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the bill would easily cost another $1 trillion. Republicans are a little bit more cautious right now. They're asking to wait until the $2.2 trillion Phase 3 bill is fully implemented before moving into Phase 4. So they're waiting back a little bit. Freshman Republican Senator Josh Hawley, however, wants an even more ambitious Phase 4 package. He said the federal government right now should fund more companies so they can keep people on their payroll. The problem is, though, when the government got involved in this program, they can't get these loans out. Wells Fargo having trouble getting loans out. A number of companies right now can't even get the loans ready to go. So that's great, but we don't have any of the loans available. Come on, it's called the PPP plan, the Paycheck Protection Program, these forgivable loans. And Congress is going to need to provide more of this funding right now in this crucial program because it's going to run dry. And these companies are going to go totally out of business. McConnell also said he's working with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin to deliver the additional $250 billion in relief for small businesses before the end of this week. Wow, today is Tuesday. The Paycheck Protection Program aims to help small businesses keep their employees receiving paychecks and that their businesses actually stay open in the wake of the pandemic. So it was originally passed in the economic stimulus bill last month with that $350 billion. That was called the Business Paycheck Protection Program. But it needs more funding, McConnell said. He really pushed that in his statement, by the way. He said Congress needs to act with speed, which they never act with speed on anything. And we need total focus, he says, to provide more money for this uncontroversial bipartisan program. I think one person voted against it. He's aiming to get this measure passed with a voice vote on the Senate floor on Thursday. That just means it'll move more quickly. Marco Rubio, Senator, Chairman of the Small Business Committee, he says the program needs an additional $200 to $250 billion. Democrats, though, want to pass another massive economic stimulus after fears emerged that that $2.2 trillion package that they passed last month will not do enough to help small businesses and help those out from the coronavirus crisis right now. We've seen businesses, I have personal friends, lost their jobs, worked at software development companies. Companies said, we can't afford you anymore, had to lay them off. Done, gone, fired. So this package could easily cost another $1 trillion that they want to roll out. In a reports to the Washington Post, this thing, $1 trillion. So House Democrats next week are going to try to seek to find another direct round of checks to Americans, unemployment aid to those who lost their jobs or who were furloughed, and also increase assistance for small businesses. So people might be getting another check in the mail. So along with these congressional leaders, they've all expressed that Phase 3 bill does not do enough to give immediate relief. Yes, because you don't have the infrastructure set up. These loans are not being accepted yet. They're not being rolled out by the banks. They're standing in the dark, not sure what to do. The infrastructure is a mess. There's a lot more people that want infrastructure projects as well as corporate aid. We don't know if we're going to get that. Democrats are rushing forward with another bill that Pelosi is hoping for a vote on the House floor in the coming weeks. So it won't be as quick as the Senate one. Most Republicans, though, are being really cautious here, claiming they want to see how Phase 3 plays out before they steam ahead with a fourth one. They said, the ink's barely dry on the $2 trillion one that just got signed into law. The direct payments haven't even hit yet. So that's Senate Majority Whip John Thune said that. So you have Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying one thing, then you have other Republicans saying, hold on, let's be a little bit more cautious here. They're saying we've got a responsibility to see what works and what doesn't. So if you're going to be spending money like crazy and it's not going where it needs to go, then this country goes massively into debt. We're printing money like crazy right now. What is Phase 4 bill going to look like? Where the federal government would direct finance companies so they can pay their workers. Now, let me just predict this, and look, we already saw 6.6 million Americans file for unemployment the last week of March. It's going to go over 10 million by next week. Most states have already issued some sort of stay-at-home order or lockdown order, which has caused further economic turmoil. Look, now, while the GOP doesn't usually push for more government intervention in the economy, Republicans said that the economic severity in this country is much bigger and more severe than anything they've ever seen before. And so they're having to do extreme measures. This roller coaster is plunging down, as they said. It's plunging down. And John Hawley, one of the senators, said, I personally do not want to ride that roller coaster and find out where the bottom is. And I don't think American workers should be forced to find out as well. But I have a little bit of a theory here. Because if you see what happened with the airlines, okay, $50 billion was devoted to saving the airlines in this most recent package. But if you read the fine print on this, and I have a separate video coming out in the next 24 hours about Warren Buffett on all of this, but the way that they pledged their support for the airlines is fascinating, because the government would take an ownership of the airlines. They'll take an ownership stake in the airlines. They will not be allowed to fire any employees. They will not be allowed to disperse dividends. They will not be allowed to have CEOs getting any kind of compensation packages or bonuses. There's a whole litany of things that the government will now take if they end up having to bail out the airlines. So Warren Buffett said, I'm out. He sold off billions of dollars of shares a few weeks after he bought billions of dollars in shares from the airlines, from Delta and Southwest. So this new program that Democrats and Republicans are talking about right now, and bailing out small businesses and larger businesses, larger corporate aid, what will that look like? Will it look like the airline package, where there will be some sort of government ownership, more reliance on the government? Imagine that. So you have, I don't know, movie theater chains which are being decimated. Would, even businesses that have more than 500 employees, would they also have to give up some sort of an ownership stake to the federal government as part of this program? Why are they just going to choose for the airlines to do this, and why wouldn't they do this for other corporations? Corporations are being slammed right now, having to lay off people in droves. So I don't understand how the government wouldn't do that. If they're going to do that for the airlines, they're probably going to have to do that for corporations as well, those with 500 more employees. And it'll be interesting to see, though, can they get their act together on the small business side? So that's great that small businesses are able to get paycheck protection and have these forgivable loans. That's fantastic, right? And there's many, many tax benefits also that have gotten rolled out in this plan as well. If your bonus depreciation, carryback depreciation can go back even a few years. So if you've accelerated your depreciation already, you're able to do carryback for a few years in arrears, which is amazing. So this is some great stuff for businesses here. But you've really got to talk to a CPA about this stuff. You've really got to talk to a qualified person who understands this stuff. We have a link on our website. We've partnered with the team at Wealthability. If you go to our website, go to morrisinvest.com/lower taxes. It's right there. You can book a call with these guys. And Tom Wheelwright's team, they've been amazing. In fact, Tom reached out to me last night. He said, please let your audience know if anyone wants to jump on and book a call with my team right now, let them know that they came from me. We will take care of them and we will help them out. And they're going to do, I think, one set of tax preparation for free for you, which is amazing. Okay. So anyway, book a call with them. You have to go through our link so they know you came from us. And Tom and the team, the CPA team at Wealthability, they're the best. The absolute best for real estate and business owners. You've got to connect. I think the underlying problem here, folks, is that the government is spending so much money. They are printing a boatload of money, and they can't afford it. They already couldn't afford it. The Fed was sitting on about $4-5 trillion in debt from the last recession. Now we're sitting on, they're pumping $1 trillion a day into these repos, trying to buy back some of this garbage stuff right now. I mean, where are they going to come up with these multi-trillions of dollars? They're printing money. So if you have your money in government currency, if you are sitting there with your money in US dollars right now, please please listen to what we teach you here on the channel. Get your money into real estate, get your money into performing assets, gold and silver. You've got to protect yourself right now, folks. If your money is sitting there in US dollars, has your money in a savings account, and the massive inflation that we're about to see in this country, you need to get your head examined if you think this is going to end well, okay? So we're all going to get through this. That's the latest here, a bit of breaking news on this next round of stimulus. I don't even know what phase 5, phase 4, I don't even know what it is anymore. Anyway, from the Republicans, we'll see if it gets pushed through this week to help small business owners out and see if they can get that first round of checks in the mail to actually help from the first round that they passed 2 weeks ago. We'll see. That's Congress for you. I'm Clayton. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. We've got hundreds of videos here on the channel to help you build wealth and be financially intelligent. Now is the time, folks. If you weren't financially intelligent before, now is the time. You better not let this happen to you again. We'll see you next time.